we are seeing two separate universes that are stacked on each other. Hey everybody, Colton here with a question from Marcel. Marcel writes, "Hey Colton, I am loving Stranger Things Season 5, and I'm very excited for the finale, but I must admit that I am a little confused by the upside down still, and this whole wormhole to another planet reveal. Can you explain?" Alright, well thanks so much for the question, and sure, I'll do my best to explain this whole wormhole upside down thing. And yeah, I'm enjoying Stranger Things as well. I was a little iffy on it, as they were ramping up for season 5 because I was kind of just over it, or at least I thought I was. The show, it does kind of insist upon itself, but damn, it's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it. So, yeah, let's address your question. So I'm going to explain it in the simplest way possible because I too was a little confused and had to rewatch a few scenes to try and figure out the best way to explain it. So I also saw this great illustration on Twitter that really cemented it for me. Okay, I am understanding it correctly. So the Demogorgons, the Mind Flayer, all the vines, all that weird shit, they are from another planet, but a planet that I think might actually be in another universe. And I'll explain that here shortly. So 11, with her powers, when she goes into that void and when she came across that Demogorgon, in the black void, when she's in the submersion tank and goes into her own mind and into other people's mind, as well as when she sent Henry through that portal, aka number 1, aka Vecna, to another place through that tear in the very fabric of space. When she did that, it tore the very fabric of reality to another world. And in doing so, that created a connection between our planet and our universe and the planet and universe that is referred to as the Abyss. Now, number 1, or Vecna, with his powers, was now seemingly able to use those powers to mind control the Demogorgons and the Demodogs or whatnot. Doug Demodog. But I am also anticipating that Vecna could be being controlled by the Mind Flayer, but that's just something we'll have to see. Anyway, 11, she was able to open that rift that sent Henry to this other world. And Henry was trapped there, he got all nasty looking, became Vecna, and then later, when 11 was in that chamber in the void and she encountered a Demogorgon because of that lingering rift between the two worlds, long story short, this created the Upside Down. Now, what is the Upside Down? Well, it's an upside down version of Hawkins, but it's more than that. There's this wall around it, a barrier that we saw in the new episodes, and in the sky of that upside down Hawkins, if you were to fly up there, you wouldn't reach the atmosphere and then outer space. You would meet a ground ceiling, the upside down ground of another world, the Abyss. So we have the Abyss and we have Hawkins, and there is this wormhole between the two where the Abyss also has its own upside down and Hawkins has its upside down. And in a way, these two upside downs share a sky. It's sort of like the Hollow Earth in the King Kong, Godzilla Monsterverse movies where King Kong lives. But the difference is that unlike, with the Hollow Earth, where gravity essentially shifts, you're standing on the ground and you look into the sky and you see another ground and you see creatures walking on it. That's not how it works in this wormhole. In the Monsterverse, essentially, if you were to fly up from one ground, you would be flying against gravity until you reach a certain point somewhere in the middle, and then you would begin to fall toward that other ground. But that's not the case here with the wormhole. So if you go through a rift in Hawkins into the upside down, you are stationed on the ground of the upside down on the Hawkins half. Well, what I mean by that is, so say you crawl down into one of those rifts under the metal plates in Hawkins. As you are crawling down in there, gravity will make it feel like you are beginning to crawl up again. Does that make sense? So as you're crawling down into the rift in Hawkins, it will begin to feel like you're crawling up as you get into the upside down, because that gravity within the wormhole within the upside down begins to push on you. But as we saw with Holly, when she was in the Abyss and she crawled through a rift, she didn't begin to crawl up, she fell straight through and then began plummeting from the Abyss upside down toward the Hawkins end of the upside down. So that's what kind of confused me at first, is you would think if you went down, crawled through a rift in the abyss to the upside down, that they would have their own upside down and own gravity pushing on that end. But that's not the case. If you go through it, you fall away from the ground toward the sky, and then through the sky down to Hawkins. And what this is doing is implying that these two worlds are stacked via the wormhole, and that this wormhole has one gravitational floor, which, you know, I don't know. I thought that was weird. I thought the gravitational pull would be at the base of each side, but hey, what do I know about wormholes? But I hope that all makes sense. And essentially, the wormhole that we are seeing here, that is the entirety of the upside down. And then being stacked worlds also ties into this being different universes stacked upon each other, and gets into multiverse theory, which we will talk about here in a second. Now, wormholes, they are like, you know, in physics, they are essentially bending space-time and conjoining two parts of space that are actually really far apart. And I know that that can be visualized like on a graph, but the way that they are showing it to us in the show is what I think it would look like from like a fourth or fifth dimensional perspective. And I think that's the case, because I think here and here, we are seeing two separate universes that are stacked on each other, and the abyss is on top, and our universe is on the bottom, and there could be like some type of gravitational force there, explaining why when you go through the abyss, you fall towards Hawkins. There could be like a gravitational center at the bottom of these stacked universes, and I hope that makes sense. Like one gravitational pull from top to bottom. And this wormhole, the upside down, it is connecting these two universes. And the connecting points just so happen to be Hawkins on Earth and in our universe, and this canyon area on the Abyss planet in their universe. And these two planets likely exist on the same like coordinates of their respective universes, and that is why they are connected. Because when 11 blew open the barrier between them, almost like what happens like with incursions in Marvel, it connected those two universes. So they were stacked universes. 11 blew a hole in their universe, connecting this piece of that other universe. And now they are connected via wormhole. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. I confused myself just talking about it, but I hope that answers your question. I saw it come up in the email and I was like, you know what? That's a fun question. And I bet you're not the only one wondering, because I was kind of wondering myself. And before I did the video, I was like, okay, let me make sure I understand it. And I start writing it down, like drawing pictures. So I hope I got it right. All right, before we go, I thought we would watch the Stranger Things Season 5 finale trailer. I haven't seen it yet, and I thought I would watch it with you guys. So let's go over here and watch it. All right, let's watch it.
I need you to fight one last time. Life has been so unfair to you. Your childhood was taken from you. You've been attacked, manipulated by terrible people. But you never let it break you. Fight for the days on the other side of this world. Fight for a world beyond Hawkins. Let's end this, kid. Mother of God.
Looks good, man. You know, it's funny. I had found myself just, I think I talked about this earlier. I had found myself just not caring really about Stranger Things anymore, because it's just so like, God, it's been going on so long, and they take these giant breaks in between. But the second I started watching the new season, they pulled me back in. I'm hooked. Looks good. I'm glad that 11 seems to be taking like center stage for the finale, I hope. This trailer kind of suggests that, because I feel like she's kind of been taking a bit of a back seat in her own series. And don't get me wrong, I love that they focus on characters like Max and just various other characters. It's a great ensemble cast, and we've got Will, of course, who they've kind of, if you think about it, the Will character, while he's not in season 1 much, the whole season did kind of revolve around that character. So I also kind of get why he would need to maybe be a bigger part of this bit as well, like in the finale, and maybe join 11 in the fight against Vecna, since he's like a sorcerer now. But yeah, I'm excited. Let me know if you guys are. I'd assume if you're watching this video, you probably are. And maybe we'll do like a reaction video after the finale, maybe. We'll just have to see. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye! Hey everybody, Colton here, and this is the mailbag style show where I take your questions about Marvel, Star Wars, DC, movies and streaming in general, whatever you want to ask. Send it in at the email address, askcoltonnow@gmail.com, link in the description below, and hey, maybe you'll see your question featured right here on the show.